Hi, I'm Brandon Wegner. I'm the National President of the Drunk Driving Prevention Program, and today in this video, I am going to be showing you how to dispatch calls through the DDPP's new web app. So, the first thing that you need to do is you need to go to our website, ddpp.us. Don't worry about typing all this other stuff in. It'll automatically pop up there. All you have to go to is www.ddpp.us. From there, if you have already signed up through VolunteerSpot or signup.com previously, then your information has already been input into our new database. If not, if you're new to the program, then simply go here to volunteer and fill out all this information. Now, if you're new to the program, you are going to have to wait for your account to be approved by the chapter president before you can choose days to volunteer. But if you're in our old system, you've already been approved, so you can just go right here to log in. And what you're going to do is you're just going to click forgot password and then enter your email if you already have an account, and hit submit, and then it'll send you a temporary password. All right, but once you get that temporary password emailed to you, then you'll just come, enter your email address here, enter the temporary password, hit submit, and then the first thing you're probably going to want to do is go to edit profile and then create a password of your own instead of the automated password. All right, so then once you're all logged in and you've already been approved by the chapter president, then you just go right here to dispatchers, click on that whenever you get a call in the middle of the night. And so you're actually going to be dispatching for two different phone numbers for the night. You're going to be dispatching your local number, and then you're also going to be dispatching the new 833 RIDE DDPP toll-free number that we have. So if you get a call from the toll-free number, well, when you get a call, you're just gonna ask them what chapter they're from. And so like, what do you mean chapter? Say what's your nearest military installation? Or you Fort Riley, Fort Hood, etc. And Oahu is Schofield Barracks for Army, but there's a lot of other installations there. But anyway, so you'll figure out what chapter they're in, and then you will just either search by name, email, or phone number. So just as an example, let me search for myself here, and then if they signed up through our old website, then we're not going to have an address listed because all they needed to sign up was name, address, and phone number, and that's fine. But if they've signed up recently, then we'll actually have their address listed there. So you'll just find them, you'll ask them, hey, is this the correct information? So if you search by name, just ask, hey, is this your phone number? Just to make sure you're selecting the right person. Because, like, for example, say we do a common name. You're going to have a lot of Johnsons in there. So just make sure you've got the right person. So anyway, let's go back to me. Oh, important point right here. This is case sensitive. So, try it first with the capitalized first letter of the name. If that doesn't work, try all lowercase and all uppercase. And and the same thing for email, unfortunately, is they if they signed up with their phone, a lot of times the phone automatically capitalizes the first letter of the email address. So try that way, and then try not capitalized. Phone too, you're going to run into the same thing of if people do 555-555, or if they do Uh, Now with the phone, we may be able to set up a way that it automatically tries these different ones, but later in the future. But for right now, you'd have to enter the different various combinations of stuff. So I know that can be a little bit frustrating, but it is what it is. So you have to find the participant to make sure that they agree to the liability waiver. If they say, "Hey, I never signed up online through any website," then they need to go sign up online, because you're not going to be able to find them, in our system if they never signed up and agreed to our liability waiver. So they need to agree to our liability waiver. So if you're doing this during normal operating hours, it'll look just like this. If you're just, say, practicing dispatching during hours that are, during the weekday and not during our normal hours, then you'll see down here, you don't see it right now because right now is operating hours, but it'll say, this is a warning, this is a test, you're entering test mode, you're not going to be able to dispatch somebody. Now, if you see that during normal operating hours, then that shouldn't be happening. So call me right away. My phone number is right here, 530-605-8607. Just give me a call and I'll figure out what's going on, but that shouldn't happen during normal operating hours. All right, so let's just go ahead and enter a call. So we found our participant, and now some street. Name of passengers: Jill Smith and Tony Johnson. And again, if their address, if it's through our original system, we're not going to have an address listed for them. But if it's our new system, you may have an address listed here. So if there is an address, just ask them, "Hey, are you going to this address?" If they say yes, all you need to do is check that. And you don't need to enter anything here. And just ask them, "Hey, is this the phone number to reach you at?" Yes. Okay, good. Or and always ask for an alternate number, like a buddy's number that's out with them or something like that, just in case they can't hear their phone. They're in a club that's loud, or a loud bar or something, and they don't notice their phone's ringing, just so you've got an alternate number. So let's say 555-867-5309. But anyway, so it's unknown here, so we're going to Home Street. All right, so anyway, then from there, just hit submit, and it's going to show you for whichever chapter you chose in the beginning. So if it was Fort Riley, like this is all the Fort Riley people for tonight. So let's just choose this volunteer right here, and this stuff's going to be deleted because there's some test information in here. Anyway, so choose your first driver. Oh, and so you'll see it doesn't have phone numbers, but it has their address. So try and choose drivers that are either closest to each other or closest to the participant. So if you just want to hop on Google Maps, and then you can just quickly copy and paste these addresses, and then along with Fort Riley or whatever, and try and see who's closest to each other. And then anyway, so pick your first volunteer, and then you go ahead and pick your and so you'll just see right now is the email. We'll probably change it later, so you actually see the volunteer's name here and information, but right now it's just the volunteer's email address that's listed as driver 1. Then you pick your second driver, and then boom, you're done. You've got those assigned. So now that they're assigned, click here, and you'll actually see the 2 volunteers that you assigned. Oh, this is Yeah, you'll see their phone numbers right here. So you can go ahead and call them. And if, say, for example, you go and call them, a lot of times they won't answer. Call repeatedly, call them 3 times before switching drivers. But let's say they still don't answer, then just click that and say, okay, driver 1 didn't answer, submit. All right, so he's getting replaced by, then we choose somebody else. All right, then you just go back and try the new person. And if you screwed up and assigned somebody who was already assigned to a call or something, then just do the same thing but with dispatcher error. And then so when you call the volunteers, to tell them the information and let them and you yeah, tell them where to go, tell them where to meet up and everything. Let them know to call you once they get to the participant's location and they've done their PMCS and everything and they're about to drive the participant. Have them call you before they start to drive. And if they call you at that time, then you can just click input pickup time now. Then boom, it automatically inputs the pickup time. If they forgot and you call them later and you're like, hey, what time was it that you started their call, then just manually input it 5:50 p.m. and just ignore this Zulu time. But the other one actually is in Zulu time, but the one you input, so just input that there, and then same thing for drop off time. And if you have anything that you need to make a note about, like if the participant calls and says, hey, we decided we're going to go sleep at my other buddy's house instead. So you can't edit this information right here for where they're going to. So you just put that in the call notes. So drop off address changed to New Street, Fort Riley. And then you just submit that. And you can put as many notes in there as you need to. Say then the participant called back and said, they decided they're going to take a taxi. Decided to take taxi instead. And same thing, like if they didn't answer the phone when the participant got there, or the volunteers, they keep trying to call them and they're not answering. And make sure the volunteers stay for at least 10 or 15 minutes trying to call to get a hold of them. But then if they don't, then just log in here that the participant didn't answer the phone. And also make notes in here for anything really important, like a volunteer was assaulted by a drunk participant. Definitely note that, but then we need to be notified right away, not just putting it in a note and being like, oh well, I logged it. No, if there's anything involving the police, either a car crash, somebody's assaulted, somebody gets arrested for flashing or drunk disorderly, whatever, if the police get involved, we need to be notified right away. Doesn't matter that it's 3 a.m. Call your chapter president and call me, 530-605-8607. Now, your chapter president will probably say, oh, okay, I'll call him, which is fine. But if, say, you can't get a hold of your chapter president, call me, 530-605-8607. Write down that number, put me in your phone, in addition to having your chapter president's phone number. But anyway, so that's just one call. So now, let's just say, you get another call, then just down here, just click here to log new call, and you start all over. And also here, you can, from the screen, you can choose the nights that you want to dispatch. Just sign up and boom, it's that easy. So that is it. Now, I'm sure you probably have questions. So if you do have questions, ask your chapter president immediately. And also, if you have questions, comment on this YouTube video, and I will respond back so that there's no dumb questions. If you have a question, somebody else probably has that question. And so if it's in the comments, then you only have to answer it once. So look at the comments first before you comment. But anyway, so I thank you very much for volunteering and serving as a dispatcher. This program, couldn't exist without all of our volunteers. So you guys are doing amazing things. I appreciate it so much. It sucks being woken up in the middle of the night. So you guys are, really doing a lot, and appreciate it. All right. Well, have a great day, and I hope you have a good time dispatching.